everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom and I have just witnessed in the FA Cup 4th round Millwall 0, Sheffield United 2, Millwall 8th in the Championship. Sheffield United, formerly of the Championship, now 8th in the Premier League, coming down and doing the business. A slow first half but pretty dominant from the Blades in the end in the second half, and after it went 2-0, a couple more chances as well with the game already won. Both managers kind of taking a view on this game. As I say, Sheffield United doing really well in the Premier League. Obviously, they now have a Premier League kind of size squad, and you know, when you compare what they would have brought down here last, I think it was August when they came in the Championship, to what they've got now, they can put out a reserve team now, Sheffield United, that would probably compete fairly well in the Championship. Obviously they're playing a Championship team, but Chris Wilder takes the kind of half and half approach. Gary Rowett does the same thing. He's got injury problems in the centre of his midfield at the moment with Thompson and Leonard and Williams. So what you're going to get is kind of half of a first team supplemented by some fringe players, but competitive sides nonetheless. Millwall on a really good run in the Championship, particularly since Rowett has arrived. They're off to Leeds on Tuesday. They would probably argue that game's more important. That, frankly, is where we are with the FA Cup nowadays. But Sheffield United having won, we'll take a look at the draw, and Chris Wilder will probably just take it round by round. And if it gets to the point where it looks like there's a chance, maybe we'll start seeing a full first team. So, Millwall lineup: it's Bialkowski in goal, Brown, Pearce, Cooper, Murray Wallace across the back, Mahoney, Mollenby, Mitchell, first time I've seen him, and Ferguson across midfield, Smith and O'Brien up the top. So no new signing Ryan Woods, don't know, is he cup tied? No Leonard and Williams, Jed Wallace on the bench, Thompson, no Bodvarsson, no Bradshaw. You see where Rowett's gone with this. Sheffield United, the classic 3-5-2 from Wilder. Henderson in goal, Basham, Jagielka, O'Connell, so only John Egan out from there. Kieran Freeman and Ben Osborne are the wing backs. We'd normally expect Ender Stevens and George Baldock. Ollie Norwood, the playmaker, he's in with Besic and Luke Freeman, so two fringe players there where we might expect Fleck and Lundstrom. Billy Sharp gets to go up front with Callum Robinson. I think it's been Mousset and McGoldrick. So you still have key guys like Henderson, Basham, O'Connell and Norwood in there, supplemented with players like Osborne, Luke Freeman, Callum Robinson, who were the better players in Championship teams. That was the business that Sheffield United did this summer. As I say, the first half was pretty quiet. I think the general pattern of it was let's approach it cautiously. I think both teams took that blueprint, not just Millwall. Millwall with a bit of a threat with direct stuff and into channels and getting it wide and crossing it, as you'd expect from what's been built up down here at the Den. Sheffield United tried their overloads down the sides that they've become obviously famous for over the past couple of years. Not that much pace in the game. I think that was the issue. Smith with a long ranger on 3. That's high, wide and handsome. Besic, there's a build down the left-hand side on 6 minutes, and Besic shoots first time wide. Big chance, however, on 7. This could have put Millwall in front and changed the game quite a lot. Into the channel, O'Brien, he's quite clever. It's a shove in the back as the ball's in here. I think it must have been on Basham. He's the right-sided centre-half. He gets in behind, charges off, cuts inside his man. He's in on goal. He's done all the hard stuff, and it's a pretty weak shot telegraphed by Henderson. If you are going to open your body and go for that curler into the far corner, it's got to be right in the corner, and this one, frankly, wasn't. 17 sharp spins, volleys way over from 30 yards. The pattern is settling. It's just in Sheffield United's favour, but not that much intensity from the Blades. And Millwall, some threat on the counter. Big chance here for Blades on 21. Basham gives it. He charges forward. Nice clip over. Basham receives it. It's just weird with Basham. If you could imagine that he would have turned into this player, the marauding guy, but he receives it, holds it. Lovely little poke through to Billy Sharp. He's in. Białkowski comes out. Sharp kind of half takes it round him. He hasn't got round him, but he knows he can put it under Białkowski, which he does. And I think it is Brown covering from the right back position and clears that one off the goal line. Lovely stuff from Basham to get Sharp in there. We get a bit of zing around the 25-minute mark as the Blades start to move the ball quicker. That gets Millwall pressing quicker and countering quicker. Could have been like that with the first teams, I think, but just that drop off with the fringe players and the kind of synchronicity between different players, not quite there in both sides. Really, 35, Wallace crosses back post for Smith, nodded out. Mahoney gets hold of this volley nicely, blocked out for a corner. There's a chance for Sheffield United on 38. Norwood corner in swinging. Jagielka comes charging in. He's inside the 6-yard box when he heads it over. I don't know if his pride's hurting here, but he is furious about having his shirt pulled. So first half goes by reasonably even. You'd say one big chance for either team, but not the greatest, and I think you put that down to just the relationships and the fringe players being supplemented in this game. Sorry, the fringe players supplementing just a few sort of first teamers for each side. Decent start to the second half by Sheffield United. Luke Freeman, he nearly gets Kieran Freeman in down the right hand side on the corner of the box. Ferguson gives Henderson a scary moment, overhits his cross, lands on the roof of the net. Here comes Sheffield United now though. They're going to start to turn the screw, and sometimes we have all of these metrics in football, but here's one for you. I'm sitting on halfway and I'm spending the whole game looking in one direction. That often tells you who's on top rather than any possession metrics or heat maps or anything of that nature. Lots of passes here by Blades. Eventually a deep cross from the right. Sharp, so clever, peels off. Hand in the back as normal. Heads it across. Robinson's there right on the near post, about 1 yard out. Just gets there first. He toe ends that into the goal, but just blocked out on the line. Lots more territory and possession for Sheffield United. Much clearer pattern in this second half. Kieran Freeman tries the Alan Mullery style volley for Fulham. Look that one up, kids. On the diagonal, well over the top. Millwall, they're hemmed in now. They can't get out. It's one-way traffic, and on 62, Sheffield United take the lead. It is actually played out from the back here. O'Connell in the left centre-back position clips over a nice ball. That breaks the press in one pass there, breaks the lines rather. Robinson brings it down. He then moves it forward into Billy Sharp. Sharp as ever is strong, hustles and bustles. He turns. He gets it out to Besic, who's in the inside right position. And at this point, you think Millwall have kind of got this covered. Is he going to go out wide? Or is he going to come back inside for the on-running Sharp and Robinson who are there? And then the Millwall defence kind of just goes to sleep and leaves him. I think they're too worried about all the options he's got and expecting a pass. It then opens up for Besic, who can put it onto his left foot. He's edge of the area, I guess, and he just curls it just nicely. Białkowski's let down by his defence. He's not going to save this. It's right over into the corner. And it's just the overload and the thought of the pass. They step off, and that's the key moment in the goal. Besic finishes it nicely, but you would say stick with your man and deal with the ball if it is played, rather than what could happen. Well, what is happening is Besic has the ball and he's curled it into the top corner. 1-0 Sheffield United, 62 minutes. Clark comes on for Callum Robinson. Pretty quiet Robinson, actually. He took up quite a lot of deep positions. Often Besic was actually coming past him. Didn't really get into the game. I don't know whether that was because he was mainly over on that left side with Osborne and Freeman, and the three of them are all fringe players, frankly. So yeah, not great from Robinson today. Lundstrom had been getting ready, but I guess the goal changes Wilder's mind and he puts big Leon Clark on there. Freeman, which one is that? I haven't written that down. Kieran Freeman, if he's taking a throw in, gets a yellow card, takes too long. It's dominant now from Sheffield United as we get up to 70 minutes. Basham's in space here. Sharp's there. He can't quite pick him out. Rowett, fair dues to him. He says, look, I'm going to play the fringe guys, but if we're in it with 20 minutes to go, I will bring my main guys in, and he does. Tom Bradshaw in for Ferguson, Bodvarsson in for Smith, so Mahoney goes over to the right. O'Brien, who was playing up top, goes over to the left, and you've got a new front two of Bodvarsson and Bradshaw. Interesting, looked like Rowett wants to use Bradshaw in the way he used Vidra at Derby. He was just dropping in behind Bodvarsson for my eye test. Jed Wallace then comes in for Mahoney. He's been Millwall's best player this season, going to play down the right. Long stoppage for an injury to Clark, kills off a bit of the Blades' momentum here. Freeman free kick. O'Connell heads this one into the net, but shoving the back. That one is disallowed. Couple of moments here for Millwall now, courtesy of Jed Wallace. He goes down the left first off. Bodvarsson's on the near post. There's a hard chance he skews that one well wide. And then Wallace, who looks very, very confident. You can see he's playing well, and that's feeding into his confidence. Down the right, good cross here. It's Bodvarsson arriving at the back post, and Freeman throws himself at that. Good clearance there, good interception with Bodvarsson arriving. Jack Robinson then comes in for Luke Freeman, so Osborne's going to go play in midfield. Robinson's going to finish the game at wing back, and we get the second decisive goal, 2-0 on 83 minutes. They finally kill it. It is an attacking outlook for Rowett, so there was likely to be one more goal in this game after that substitution. It goes to Sheffield United. Billy Sharp has it left corner of the box. Norwood, it's a rarity for him. He doesn't, for a guy with that great a technique, I know his role is to be a deep line playmaker in this team, but you'd think he would score a fair few long ranges with that right foot, and he gets one here. Sharp lays it across the box, opens up nicely for Norwood, and his quality, his technique is just perfect. Lets it run across his body, doesn't have to smash this to work Białkowski. He knows it's on the right foot. He can get that fade away that he gets on a lot of his passes, Norwood, as well. So he lets it run across, kind of half slices the shot right low into the corner. Let the ball do the work. Let your technique and your body shape do the work. Easy goal for Norwood. And it's 2-0. And Sheffield United, frankly, their second half dominance gets them the win that they deserve. It gets a bit loose now. It could be 3-4-0 at the end here. Big chance here. Sharp finds Clark. He's in. First time shot, left foot, and Białkowski pours that one away. And on 91, I do not believe it. The old master, Billy Sharp, is going to miss a one-on-one. Had to double take when I saw that. Clark plays him through. Sharp's in on goal. He's going to open his body, similar to O'Brien in the first half, but even closer in, and he allows Białkowski to make the save. Already pulling my phone out to film the goal celebration as Sharp is going through there, but he misses, and the game's completely gone stretched here. 93, Freeman's in on the right. Sharp's got a tap in. Freeman just indecisive. He needs to square that first time, and it's 3-0, but charged down, and Białkowski saves it on the near post. So look, let's deal with this from a Millwall perspective. Millwall are having a really good season. They've got problems in central midfield. They've got a game on Tuesday night. Things looking good for them in the league. I believe there is one playoff place up for grabs, and really anyone can get it, and that could be Millwall. So I kind of agree with Gary Rowett's selection here. Expect to see Wallace, Bradshaw, Bodvarsson, and I'm not sure about the fitness of the Williams, Hutchinson, Leonard. Expect to see Woods as well. There's going to be a lot of players who didn't play here today. I wouldn't be too unhappy if I was a Millwall fan with that selection, given how well the season's been going. And to Rowett's credit, on 70 minutes, he did throw on the two forwards, and Wallace created a couple of moments. He went for it. He said, we're either going to equalise or concede another. So if I'm a Millwall fan, I know they have a good relationship with the FA Cup and they're having a great season, but I would park this one and say, fair dues, didn't risk too much. We're in it until, 83rd minute, attacking substitution, went for it, and there you go. Off to Leeds for more important stuff, and if Millwall get something at Leeds on Tuesday. I think this is quickly forgotten. From a Sheffield United point of view, obviously the story has been well told. Brilliant promotion last season, and a chance for Chris Wilder to play some of his summer signings that haven't necessarily, I don't know whether it's they're not up to speed or they need to learn his system, or they're going to be integrated slowly, but people like Osborne, Jagielka obviously doesn't fall into that category, he's an experienced head, but Kieran Freeman, Besic, Luke Freeman, Callum Robinson, chances for all of them. I suppose Besic gets the goal, doesn't he? Not overly sold on Osborne and Freeman today. Didn't look like they had it going. It's a hard system to play, isn't it? Flooding forward, overloads down either side. Didn't quite get it going, and this was the question with Luke Freeman as well when he signed. Can he keep up with the system? Likes to stop on the ball and be creative, and obviously Norwood is the playmaker in this team. So Robinson not necessarily getting into it. And the key guys really, the guys you'd expect to have good performances, people like Basham, O'Connell, Freeman did well. That's practice though from last season. Besic gets the goal. Who got the second? Norwood. Well, he's Norwood, isn't he? And you can sit with a cigar on in games like this often, can't he? So I'm not necessarily expecting many of those players to break into the Blades first team in the immediate future, but good workout for them today. And I suppose if you're a Blades fan, why not a cup run? The closer you get, the bigger the chance. I know the stats say it's normally a top team that wins it, and you know, maybe it's best just concentrating on those league points, but I think if you're a Sheffield United fan, you've just got to wind back the big picture and all those years in League One, and now you're 8th in the Premier League, and you know, not necessarily too worried about an FA Cup run and easing into the 6th round. It's a nice place to be if you're a Sheffield United fan, and a deserved win today and a dominant second half performances. How things have changed under Chris Wilder, bringing down a squad that's well capable of winning away a decent Championship 8th place team in decent form. So I think big picture for both teams today. Blades deserved winners. Millwall, important stuff to do at Leeds on Tuesday, and Sheffield United want to finish in that top half in the Premier League just to keep this amazing journey under Chris Wilder going. Little side note, nightmarish for me today. Murray Wallace, Jed Wallace, Jack Robinson, Callum Robinson, there was another one as well, Kieran Freeman, Luke Freeman. Yeah, that was fun. Let me know what you think in the comments, Millwall fans. Did Rowett, is he right? Is context key, and what happens in Leeds kind of more important? Are you at all bothered by today's showing? Sheffield United fans, pretty much same thing. Any players stand out for you? Any of those fringe players you think have an upward trajectory into the team? Let me know what you think in the comments. Great to be back down at the Den. I'll be here in a week or two for Millwall West Brom. That's the 9th of February. Great to see the Blades again. Hello to the Blades fans. I miss you from last season, but you went and got yourself promoted, so say hello in the comments. Thank you everybody for watching. Follow on Twitter at Benjamin Bloom. Subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. You can support me monetarily on Patreon. I still have a job. I still do this for the love of it. And it was Millwall 0, Sheffield United 2, over and out.